This is Sophia. She's looking quite numb with dark circles around her eyes, as if she's not had a good night's sleep for a long time. She is, again and again, thinking about the flashback in her mind, when her father said to her to top the class this year at the very moment of her birthday celebration earlier in the evening.
Who on earth studies for the exams the whole night of her birthday? Well, yeah, that's me.
It's 5 a.m., and she had just enough time to review once again what she'd been studying for days. Suddenly, the door of her room knocks open, and her father opens the door to see whether she's studying or not.
Were you sleeping or studying all night?
I was studying. You can see my bed if you don't believe me.
Just don't forget, you must top the class this year. Otherwise, it would be disgraceful for me.
Noted.
She's surprised to listen to what her father was saying. She was expecting a sweet birthday wish, but no, that was just a wish of hers. Sophia has always heard this same sentence, but never understood what it really meant. How would her test performance be disgraceful for her father? Sophie studied hard consecutively for 4 hours that morning, from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., and then left home for college to take her test. She needed to reach there before 9:30, as the exam would start by then. She sees her own father meeting with all the professors and teachers. Everyone is shaking hands with her father, as Mr. James is the college's principal, a nightmare that never lets her sleep. Mr. James stares at Sophia from a distance and points to get her into the class for the exam.
You ready to spew everything, study machine?
She becomes quite dejected. Study machine was the name she'd always been hearing. Perhaps it was a joke for many. The teacher provides paper to every student. Sophia always gets the paper on her table, and this time it makes her nervous like never before. She had the heavy load of her father's great expectations on her shoulders. On reading the questions on the paper exam, she feels a lump in her throat, a feeling of being isolated in the whole world. She tries to mute all of those thoughts and start work on the exam. She knew the answers to all the questions that she'd been studying hard for the exams. Within an hour and a half, she completes her paper fully and returns it to the teacher. She just wanted to get out of that classroom and be in a spacious place where she could shake off everything inside her, where she could just breathe. She sees a sweeper working in the back garden of the college. That's why she stays silent. She feels as if her heart would come out of her chest, as if her head would blow up due to the pressure she was going through. She holds her head with her hands while a few tears roll out of her eyes.
I had never wanted this life, God. A life where I cannot even breathe without letting my father know.
The sweeper, named Mila, comes and wishes her.
Happy birthday, Sophia. I heard it was your birthday last night.
Mila was a kind lady with a big heart. But still, for everyone else, she was just a sweeper.
Birthday? Do you call it a birthday? Would you believe I was studying all night? Yeah, the night of my so-called birthday.
Are you sad, my girl? What happened? You broke?
Perhaps I am broken. How cannot I break when my parents were enjoying my birthday party at some sophisticated hotel while I was studying? My father always asked me to be on the top of every list. Why? Because he wants to show off that the principal's daughter is hardworking like the principal? Am I only to show off? Had I not been going to all the parties, leaving my friends, leaving every sport since childhood? I have given my whole life to date for my father, who never seems to be happy. Would you believe that I cannot remember when she kissed me last time, saying that she is proud of me? She is always busy setting the trophies that I won, but it seems that he is losing me.
Sophia thinks back to the time that Mila was the same lady that she had heard about in college. A lady who had always had the back of those who needed her most. Mila sees Sophia in her eyes and spoke words that seemed to cure and revive Sophia.
My girl, I know there's a lot right in your heart. I know you want to break all those shackles holding you. But you should know one thing.
What? Wait for any wonder to happen in my life?
No, we don't always have to wait for wonders in our life. Sometimes we need to be our own superheroes. You don't really have to do anything. You won't want to break your father's heart, will you?
I don't want to break my own heart either.
All he wants is for you to graduate with distinctions, right? Why don't you give this happiness to him and ask for your happiness?
Mila pauses and remembers the moments she didn't speak to her husband because she was angry at him and he never came back.
You always need to speak to your loved ones before it's too late, before they just vanished from your life.
I will. He is my dad, and I can bet he would have a little chunk of love for me left in his heart, besides the love for my degree, right?